The International Consortium of Investigative Journalists has been combing through more than 2 million files of financial transaction data for more than a year. Of countries use covert accounts and companies to shield their wealth.
Now, as he's going to end up in jail. Floyd Mayweather, up until now, has avoided jail time like he's avoided punches in the ring. But jail is where he's headed. A Las Vegas judge.
Is Floyd Mayweather going to go to jail? Up until now, he has escaped jail time like he has avoided punches in the ring. But jail is where he's headed. A Las Vegas judge is $200 and $300 million. So yes, a different account. The International Consortium of Investigative Journalists has been going through more than 2 million files of financial transaction data for more than a year. According to leaked documents, the FBI had purportedly found proof that Floyd Mayweather may have been concealing his true fortune and evading taxes by keeping millions in hidden offshore accounts. Mayweather stashes cash from endorsement deals and exhibition bouts in overseas banks and dummy corporations. These hidden funds bring up important moral and legal issues about tax avoidance and
bank accounts to hide trillions of dollars and evade laws. Again, Duhari, who has the story.
Uncovering the complex workings of offshore tax havens has led to one of the largest cross-border collaborations ever between journalists. The International Consortium of Investigative Journalists has been combing through more than 2 million files of financial transaction data for more than a year. It's taken this long because the digital file size is 160 times larger than the State Department.
Financial transparency. Given that Mayweather has already shown off his wealth in public, analysts predict that this might lead to a thorough probe of his finances. The FBI's conclusions point to a much more covert and maybe unlawful financial plan operating behind the scenes. To Hari, who has a tale, bank accounts are used to conceal trillions of dollars and circumvent the law once more. One of the biggest cross-border journalistic cooperation ever has resulted from exposing the intricate operations of offshore tax havens. In a 2013 ESPN interview, Floyd Mayweather disclosed that he keeps $123 million in a single account, highlighting his strategy of spreading wealth across.
How much money do you have in your bank account?
Which account? Which bank?
You have more than one account?
Absolutely.
I don't even have one account. Give me the amount of money you have in one of your accounts.
200 million, 300 million.
Dollars?
Yeah, in different accounts.
Multiple institutions. The International Consortium of Investigative Journalists has been sifting through more than 2 million files of financial transaction data for more than a year. This has taken this long because the digital file size is 160 times larger than the State Department. This strategy is frequently used to control risk and guarantee liquidity, but Mayweather's financial activities have come under investigation. According to reports, he owed more than $22 million in taxes in 2015, which resulted in a federal tax liability. Such substantial tax obligations raise concerns about his financial management and transparency. How much money do you have in your bank account?
Just residences making 100, 200 grand here or there, $50,000 not going to affect. But for those large investors, obviously that's becoming very concerning because if you've got a building, big mall or something else, it could be worth $100 million. All of a sudden you've got a $10 million profit on there that's now going to be taxed at 37 or 40 versus 20 to 24. Huge difference. So that's the biggest one people are keeping their eye on.
Which bank do you have many accounts with? I don't even have one account. So please let me know. Tell me how much money you have in one of your two accounts, 200 million or $300 million. Yes, in various accounts. According to Floyd Mayweather's former accountant, Floyd frequently disregarded sums like $100,000, $200,000 here and there, or even $50,000 as unimportant to him. The accountant claims that while those figures didn't make a difference, they did for wealthy investors who were observing from the sidelines. This carefree demeanor prompted concerns. Conversations are ongoing about eliminating the step-up in basis, which might increase future tax loads, he adds. If you have a commercial property or a mall worth $100 million and a $10 million profit suddenly taxed at 37 to 40% instead of 20 to 24%, that's a major hit. The biggest one is that people are watching Floyd Mayweather's financial dealings because his tax avoidance strategies are similar to those of many of the wealthiest people in the world. If you have a building, such as a big mall or something else, that could be worth hundreds.
Use of offshore accounts. I'm sure this isn't your first time hearing the term offshore. Offshore banking, offshore account, etc. What does it bring to mind? Water, scenes, more water? Surprise, none of the above. Offshore banking is a bit like hiding money in distant places, islands. The wealthy stash their money in foreign banks, often in tax havens known for their friendly financial policies. It's like sending their hard-earned money to a safe place away from tax issues at home. Offshore accounts come with a little bit of tax legal implications and challenges, however. So before you start dreaming of stashing all of your money at that private island, consider what's involved here, right? The tax authorities back home always keep a watchful eyes, and there's always a need for carefulness. Governments everywhere are tightening regulations to prevent abuse.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. All of a sudden, you have a $10 million profit on it that will now be taxed at 37 or 40 instead of 20 or 24 because of the huge difference. Mayweather has been connected to financial instruments for offshore accounts that let people evade significant tax obligations. Usually, these accounts are open in countries like the Cayman Islands or Switzerland that have lax tax regulations. The theory is that people can lawfully reduce their tax obligations in their home countries by transferring wealth through these accounts. If done properly, offshore accounts can help high-profile individuals like Mayweather avoid millions of dollars in taxes by shifting assets or income to foreign banks with more benevolent tax laws, or deferring taxes. However, this practice raises ethical concerns about the fairness of tax avoidance when public services rely on the tax contributions of regular citizens. Mayweather's approach, according to detractors, is merely another instance of the wealthy taking advantage of weaknesses. Using offshore accounts, I have no doubt that you have heard about offshore banking before. Offshore account, etc. What does it remind you of?
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, like what are you talking about, man?
He's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash. Hilarious, I love it.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congratulations.
But he doesn't drive.
I like it. Good. You can sell those. They're worth a lot of money. You can get that money too.
Yeah.
You know, he's really interesting in the amount of money that he's able to generate.
Yeah.
More water surprises and water scene. None of the off-field banking mentioned above is comparable to concealing funds in far-off islands. Rich people keep their money in overseas banks, frequently in tax havens with kind financial regulations. It's similar to moving their hard-earned money to a secure location away from home tax problems. However, there are certain tax-related legal ramifications and difficulties. So before you start fantasizing about hiding all of your money on that private island, think about what's involved. The tax doors at home are constantly on guard, and caution is always required. All throughout the world, governments are strengthening laws to stop misuse. Joe Rogan considers Floyd Mayweather's enormous earnings over his career and the difficulties of managing such wealth. He admits that taxes must be paid eventually, and he imagines a scenario in which Mayweather receives a bill for $25 million, a substantial amount, only to be informed that he owes $50 million more. Given the amount of money involved, Rogan highlights the absurdity of such a situation. He also brings up Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle, which includes purchasing over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer. Always
Look, man, you know, we both made some real money, but you know, you start burning through, you make $2-3 million a year, you burning through $100,000 a month. You ain't really got that much money.
Shit, he probably spending way more than that.
No, I'm talking regular dudes. We say we made $3 million, we burning through $100,000 a month. We really don't got no paper like that saved up.
That's a fact.
So even if he's making $100 million, if he's burning through $5, $6, $7 million a month, you still got taxes, you still got responsibilities. So I don't know nobody's bag, but you know, me and you, we real. We never count nobody paper. So
not at all.
I hope he got $10 billion. And I hope he get out of this problem.
That's a fact, because you would figure he should be able to just cash him out, like whatever the tab is. You know, he should be able to wire that.
I think he could do that with no problem. I think he got all the money in the world. I think they may not want it.
Paying cash, even though he doesn't drive most of the vehicles. Rogan points out that they are valuable, making them a wise investment. He respects Mayweather's ability to amass such fortune, noting that he has developed some remarkable money-making techniques. Roger views Mayweather as a financial whiz who has figured out how to make and manage a remarkable sum of money while coming up with innovative strategies to preserve and increase his fortune. In addition to the fact that he makes so much money, I believe there comes a time when they say, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. It's just neglect to pay neglect. And you say, All right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. That's true, but you owe 50 more, they say after that. He just says, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million. Yes, exactly. What are you talking about? Man, he has purchased more than 100 high-end vehicles from the same dealer and has always paid with cash. Funny, I think it's great that he has cars worth $15 million, but he doesn't drive. You can sell them, they're worth a lot of money, and he can get that money too. It's just that the amount of money Floyd Mayweather can make is so amazing. You know we both made some genuine money, but you start to burn through it. You earn $23 million annually, but you burn through $100,000 a month. You don't actually have that much money.
The money I still got, the jewels I still got, the cars I still got, the mansions I still got. You either motivate it or you hate it. Either or, it doesn't matter. Walk with me, let's talk. I got 9 toys right here. I got the 488 Ferrari. I got the Maybach or the Maybach, whatever you want to call it. I got 7 Rolls Royces right here. I like to call it Lucky 7. So you either motivate it or you hate it. My lifestyle, Money Man. I'm the money man. Remember that.
__. No, I'm talking about everyday guys like, yes, say, we make $3 million, we burning through $100,000 a month, we really don't have any paper like that saved up. He's certainly spending far more than that. I don't know anyone's bag, but you and I are real and never count anyone's papers. So even if he's earning $100 million a month, you still have taxes and responsibilities. So we don't. I hope he gets $10 billion, and I hope he gets out his pocket. Because you would think he should be able to cash him out like whatever the tab is. You know, he should be able to wire that, yeah,